Chapter 1, The Call to Adventure. In the heart of the Cerulean Sea, where the sun's rays danced upon the water's surface, the journey of the Merman knight, Seraphin, began. His scales, a magnificent blend of aquamarine and silver, bore witness to his noble lineage and his destiny to protect the underwater realm. As Seraphin swam through the kelp forests and past colorful schools of fish, thoughts of the dragon princess, Aurelia, consumed his mind. News of her capture weighed heavily on his heart, driving him forward with a sense of purpose he had never felt before. The stories of Aurelia's grace and beauty, tales shared by elder mermen during gatherings by luminous coral campfires, had always captivated him. But it was not just her beauty that stirred him, it was her spirit, her resilience, and her unwavering love for their underwater kingdom. Deeper and deeper he descended into the ocean's abyss, where the water grew colder and the pressure intensified with each passing fathom. Yet, Seraphin's resolve remained unyielding. He would not falter in his quest to rescue the dragon princess and vanquish the pirates who threatened the tranquility of Atlanteria. Throughout his journey, Seraphin encountered strange and mesmerizing creatures. Bioluminescent jellyfish illuminated his path, and schools of angelfish darted around him like living gems. He swam alongside an ancient sea turtle, its eyes filled with the wisdom of ages, which imparted a cryptic message about the challenges ahead. As the hours stretched into days, Seraphin remained vigilant, following the sacred maps passed down through generations of merman knights. Etched onto delicate seashells and concealed within hidden chambers of the coral reefs, these maps unveiled the perilous route to the pirate's hidden lair deep within the abyssal trench. The closer he came to his destination, the more the ocean seemed to conspire against him. Gigantic shadows of unseen leviathans lurked in the abyss, sending shivers through his spine. He navigated with caution, trident poised and senses sharpened. Finally, guided by the ancestral maps, Seraphin reached the entrance to the concealed cave. A cavern of jagged rocks and swaying seaweed beckoned ominously. Inside, the cave's eerie silence was broken only by the soft murmur of water through winding tunnels. Here, in this foreboding abyss, Seraphin would face his greatest challenge, a showdown with the pirate captain, a formidable sea serpent named Blackfin, who guarded the imprisoned dragon princess. With his heart resolute and his trident gleaming with determination, he swam further into the darkness, ready to rescue Aurelia and restore justice to the depths of the sea. Chapter 2, Depths of Deception. Seraphin moved deeper into the foreboding cave, his senses keen and trident at the ready. The rocky walls seemed to close in on him as he swam through the labyrinthine tunnels. The eerie silence was broken only by the faint, haunting echoes of the underwater world. As he ventured further, a soft, ethereal glow emanated from a distant chamber, drawing him nearer. The iridescent radiance, like moonlight on the water's surface, flickered in the depths. Seraphin approached with cautious curiosity, the dim light revealing the intricate patterns of coral and the shimmering scales of the ancient cave dwellers. In the chamber's heart, he beheld a sight that filled him with awe and dread. Before him stood not only the dragon princess Aurelia, but also a figure of unparalleled malevolence, the dreaded sea sorceress, Sirenastra. Her presence was as dark and enigmatic as the abyssal trench itself. Aurelia's scales, once resplendent and vibrant, now appeared faded and muted. Her fiery eyes, which had once shone like twin suns, were dulled with sorrow. Seraphin's heart ached at the sight of her, and he knew that the princess had suffered greatly in her captivity. Sirenastra, a sinister vision of beauty, floated beside Aurelia, her long, ebony hair billowing like tendrils of ink in the water. Her eyes, pools of darkness, fixated on Seraphin with a chilling intensity. "So, the valiant merman knight has come to challenge me," she hissed, her voice a seductive melody laced with danger. "But you are too late. The dragon princess is under my protection now." Seraphin gripped his trident tighter, his resolve unwavering. "Release her immediately, Sirenastra. Your treachery will not go unpunished." Aurelia's voice, though weakened, rose in defiance. "You cannot trust her, Seraphin. She serves a far greater evil than you can imagine." Seraphin's brows furrowed in confusion. What do you mean, princess? With a wicked smile, Sirenastra circled Aurelia like a shark closing in on its prey. Ah, my dear princess, it appears you've let slip a secret. Yes, Seraphin, there is a greater evil lurking beneath the depths of this ocean, a power that even I must obey. Intrigued and alarmed, Seraphin demanded answers. Speak plainly, Sirenastra. What is this greater evil, and why have you taken the dragon princess? Sirenastra's eyes gleamed with malice as she revealed the unsettling truth. The true enemy, Seraphin, is the abyssal Leviathan, an ancient and malevolent force that hungers for dominion over the entire ocean. I have kept Aurelia here as bait, a sacrifice, to appease the Leviathan's insatiable appetite. Only by offering the princess's pure essence can I hope to keep its wrath at bay. Aurelia's voice trembled as she continued, but there is a prophecy, Seraphin, one that speaks of a savior from the depths, a merman knight of unparalleled valor who will rise to challenge the abyssal Leviathan and restore balance to the sea. Seraphin's heart sank as the gravity of the situation settled upon him. The destiny he had embarked upon was far grander and more perilous than he could have ever imagined. To save not only the dragon princess, but the entire underwater kingdom, he would have to confront a legendary evil that lurked in the deepest recesses of the ocean. With newfound determination and a burning sense of duty, Seraphin turned to Sirenastra, his trident poised. If the abyssal Leviathan is the true threat, then I shall face it, but not before rescuing Aurelia from your clutches. Prepare yourself, sorceress, for a merman knight's duty is to protect, and protect I shall. The battle for the dragon princess and the fate of the underwater realm had only just begun, and Seraphin would need every ounce of his courage and strength to confront the looming shadow of the abyssal Leviathan. Chapter 3, Descent into Madness. As Seraphin confronted Sirenastra in the eerie chamber, the walls seemed to close in, and the very water around them grew heavy with malevolence. The dim, otherworldly glow that emanated from the sorceress cast eerie shadows on the jagged coral formations, giving them the appearance of ancient, gnarled claws. Sirenastra's laughter echoed like a haunting melody through the chamber. You are brave, merman knight, to challenge the abyss itself, she whispered, her voice tinged with a perverse fascination. But you do not understand the true depths of despair that lie beneath. With a wave of her slender hand, she summoned dark tendrils of energy that ensnared Seraphin's trident, rendering it powerless. He struggled against the ethereal bonds, but they tightened with every futile attempt to break free. Aurelia, still imprisoned and weakened, cried out with urgency. Seraphin, you must flee. The abyssal Leviathan approaches, and it cannot be stopped by mere force. The chamber grew colder, and a deep, guttural hum reverberated through the water, sending shivers down Seraphin's spine. The very essence of dread seemed to manifest as a colossal shadow in the distance, a shapeless monstrosity that defied the laws of nature. The abyssal Leviathan, an ancient cosmic horror, emerged from the abyss. Its form was a nightmare given life, a grotesque fusion of tentacles and eyes, its body stretching into the inky blackness. Its eyes, countless and malevolent, fixated upon Seraphin with a madness-inducing intensity. Seraphin's heart pounded as he gazed upon the eldritch horror, realizing the true depth of his peril. The abyss had awakened, and it hungered for him, for Aurelia, for everything beneath the waves. Sirenastra's voice dripped with a macabre reverence as she spoke of the monstrosity. Behold, Seraphin, the abyssal Leviathan, an entity beyond mortal comprehension. It devours all in its path, and even I am powerless before its terrible might. As the Leviathan drew nearer, its presence warped reality itself. Seraphin's mind teetered on the precipice of madness, and he could feel the tendrils of insanity creeping into his thoughts. Aurelia's voice, fading into despair, reached out to him. Save yourself, Seraphin. You cannot defeat it now. Flee, while you still have your sanity. With a heavy heart and a sense of agonizing failure, Seraphin heeded Aurelia's plea. He fought against the suffocating darkness that clung to him, summoning the last reserves of his strength to escape the abyssal chamber. As he swam desperately through the twisting tunnels, the haunting cries of the dragon princess and the maddening hum of the Leviathan's approach echoed behind him. With a final burst of speed, Seraphin burst from the cave's entrance into the open sea, gasping for breath. The world above seemed a distant memory as the crushing weight of the abyss closed in behind him. He had failed to save the princess, and the horror of the abyssal Leviathan now threatened to consume everything he held dear. Chapter 4, Songs of the Abyss. Seraphin, disoriented and reeling from his harrowing encounter with the abyssal Leviathan, swam toward the dappled light of the upper ocean. He needed guidance, allies, anything that could help him rescue Princess Aurelia from the clutches of the eldritch terror that dwelled in the abyss. As he ascended through the water, the kelp forests swayed gently in the current, their long fronds reaching out like beckoning arms. Among these ancient kelp, the kelpie, mythical creatures known for their enchanting songs and wisdom, were said to reside. Seraphin soon found himself in the presence of a majestic kelpie, its form a blend of aquatic grace and ethereal beauty. Its emerald eyes glistened with ancient knowledge as it regarded the Merman knight. Brave Seraphin, the kelpie's voice echoed through the water, melodious and soothing as a lullaby. I sensed your plight, and I have watched your struggle against the abyssal darkness. What is it you seek? With unwavering determination, Seraphin recounted the tale of the abyssal Leviathan, Siren Astra, and the abduction of Princess Aurelia. He implored the kelpie for guidance, for any knowledge or aid that could aid him in facing the eldritch horror. The kelpie nodded in understanding. You tread a treacherous path, Seraphin, but your courage has earned my favor. To confront the abyssal Leviathan, you must seek the assistance of the sirens, for they possess the power to navigate the deepest and darkest realms of the sea. With the kelpie's guidance, Seraphin swam onward, guided by the melodies of ancient songs that whispered through the water. He approached the hauntingly beautiful sirens, ethereal beings whose enchanting voices lured sailors to their doom. Yet, these sirens were different, possessing a knowledge of the sea's mysteries and a desire to protect their domain. Seraphin spoke earnestly to the sirens, recounting his quest and the dire threat that the abyssal Leviathan posed to their underwater realm. Their haunting voices resonated with a melancholy harmony as they considered his plea. Seraphin, one of the sirens sang, her voice like a mournful lament, "We have heard your tale, and we know the terrors of the abyss. We shall aid you in your quest, for the Leviathan threatens us all." The sirens shared their ancient lore, revealing a hidden pathway that led to the heart of the abyss, where the abyssal Leviathan held its dark court. They cautioned Seraphin that the journey would be perilous, and the eldritch horrors of the abyss would test his resolve like never before. Armed with the knowledge and the support of the kelpie and the sirens, Seraphin felt renewed determination. He knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, but he was not alone. With the combined strength and wisdom of his newfound allies, he would return to the abyss to face the abyssal Leviathan and rescue Princess Aurelia, or die trying. Chapter 5, The Siren's Guidance. In the heart of the abyss, Seraphin swam through the inky darkness, guided by the kelpie's wisdom and the ethereal songs of the sirens. He knew that to confront the abyssal Leviathan, he needed 3 legendary artifacts, each possessing the power to battle ancient terrors. Amid the haunting beauty of the abyss, the sirens, beings known for their mystical knowledge and captivating voices, emerged to meet him. Their melodious songs held the secrets of the deep, and they sensed the noble purpose that had brought Seraphin to their realm. Seraphin approached them with respect, sharing his quest to rescue Princess Aurelia and confront the abyssal Leviathan. The sirens, their eyes shimmering with age-old wisdom, regarded him with a mix of curiosity and reverence. One of the sirens, her voice like a haunting symphony, addressed Seraphin. "Brave knight of the sea, your quest is noble, and the perils you face are formidable. To challenge the abyssal Leviathan, you must seek 3 legendary artifacts, each imbued with unique power." Seraphin, his heart filled with determination, nodded and replied, "Please, guide me, for I am ready to undertake this quest." With the siren's guidance, Seraphin learned of the trident of illumination, the pearl of serenity, and the conch of the depths, the very items he needed to overcome the abyssal terror. They revealed the locations of these artifacts, hidden deep within the most enigmatic corners of the underwater realm. The first artifact, the Trident of Illumination, was said to harness the fiery power of underwater geysers. It rested in the Luminous Forge, a mystical cavern where molten rock flowed like lava, casting an eerie radiance in the depths. Seraphin, intrigued by the challenge ahead, asked, "How do I find this Trident of Illumination in the Luminous Forge?" The sirens, their voices weaving a mesmerizing tapestry of sound, provided further guidance. They described the treacherous journey to the Luminous Forge and the encounter with its guardian, a colossal lava serpent with eyes like molten rubies. The second artifact, the Pearl of Serenity, was hidden within the heart of the Tranquil Haven, an enchanted coral reef guarded by elusive sea wisps. Seraphin listened attentively, eager to understand the next step of his quest. "Tell me more about the Pearl of Serenity," he implored. "How do I gain access to it within the Tranquil Haven?" The sirens, their voices like a gentle current of information, revealed the way to the Tranquil Haven and its guardian, a colossal sea turtle adorned with iridescent pearls. They emphasized the importance of respect and humility when approaching this guardian. Lastly, the sirens spoke of the Conch of the Depths, an ancient seashell holding the very voice of the sea itself. To find it, Seraphin would have to journey to the abyss's abyss, a place untouched by light and shrouded in enigmatic darkness. With their guidance and the melodies of their song still echoing in his heart, Seraphin felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew the path that lay before him would be perilous, but he was determined to gather the legendary items and fulfill his destiny, to rescue Princess Aurelia and protect his underwater kingdom from the looming abyssal menace. Chapter 6, The Luminous Forge. Guided by the enigmatic counsel of the sirens, Seraphin embarked on his quest to acquire the first of the three legendary artifacts, the Trident of Illumination. Its rumored location lay within the Luminous Forge, a mystical cavern where molten rock flowed like lava, illuminating the abyssal darkness. As Seraphin descended deeper into the abyss, he felt the oppressive weight of the ocean pressing in on him. The journey was fraught with peril, and he couldn't shake the feeling that ancient eyes watched his every move. Eventually, he reached the entrance to the Luminous Forge, a vast, cavernous expanse bathed in an eerie crimson glow. The molten rock flowed like rivers of liquid fire, casting a surreal radiance upon the cavern's jagged walls. As Seraphin ventured deeper into the forge, he came upon a colossal guardian, a lava serpent with eyes like molten rubies. It coiled around a massive outcropping of glowing coral, its gaze locking onto the intruder with a mix of curiosity and hostility. "Who dares to enter the Luminous Forge?" the guardian hissed, its voice a rumbling cascade of fiery power. Seraphin, undaunted, stepped forward and spoke respectfully, "I am Seraphin, a Merman knight on a quest to acquire the Trident of Illumination, for the fate of our underwater kingdom hangs in the balance." The guardian regarded him with keen interest. "You seek the trident, young knight, but its power is not easily obtained. To prove your worthiness, you must face the trials of fire." With that, the guardian unleashed torrents of molten lava, forming a swirling ring of flames that surrounded Seraphin. The knight's heart raced as he maneuvered through the fiery onslaught, his scales shimmering with the heat. Hours passed as Seraphin endured the relentless trials of fire, his determination unwavering. The guardian observed with growing respect, recognizing the knight's unwavering commitment. Finally, as the last trial concluded, the guardian nodded in approval. "You have proven your courage and strength, Seraphin. The Trident of Illumination is yours to claim." But before Seraphin could take the trident, a mysterious cloaked figure appeared from the shadows. The figure's voice was deep and resonant, shrouded in an air of mystery. "Wait, Seraphin," the cloaked figure spoke, "your quest is noble, and your bravery commendable. But the time for the confrontation with the abyssal Leviathan is not yet ripe. Princess Aurelia remains safe, for now." Seraphin, his trident at the ready, demanded to know the figure's identity. "Who are you, and what do you mean?" The cloaked figure merely replied, "All in due time, my son. The princess is safe, and preparations for the final ritual are underway." Return to the surface, and when the stars align, your destiny will be fulfilled. With those cryptic words, the cloaked figure vanished into the shadows, leaving Seraphin both intrigued and bewildered. He took the trident of illumination, its fiery glow now in his grasp, and began his journey back to the surface, his heart filled with a mixture of hope, uncertainty, and the unshakable determination to see his quest through to the end. Chapter 7: The Whispering Abyss. Seraphin, armed with the trident of illumination, was ready to embark on his next quest to retrieve the Pearl of Serenity. He knew that the heart of this quest would lead him to the tranquil haven, an enchanted coral reef guarded by elusive sea wisps. The eerie beauty of the abyss seemed to darken around him as he descended further into its depths. With the Kelpie as his companion, Seraphin swam onward, their silvery scales shimmering faintly in the inky blackness. The water itself seemed to thicken with dread as they journeyed into the abyss's abyss, the very heart of darkness. As they delved deeper, the sea life around them grew more bizarre and unsettling. Monstrous anglerfish with rows of jagged teeth darted through the shadows, their luminescent lures casting an eerie glow. Giant, bloated jellyfish with tendrils like ghostly specters drifted ominously through the water. The Kelpie, its eyes filled with ancient wisdom, spoke in a hushed tone, "This is a place where the abyss stares back at you, Seraphin. The darkness here is not empty, it is filled with ancient horrors and the forgotten dreams of the sea." Seraphin felt a shiver of unease creep down his spine, but his determination remained unshaken. He knew that the path to the Pearl of Serenity would be fraught with danger, but he had come too far to turn back. Suddenly, they came upon a haunting sight, a shipwreck, ancient and encrusted with barnacles, suspended in the abyss. The ship's timbers groaned eerily, and the spectral forms of drowned sailors floated around it, their eyes empty sockets filled with melancholic despair. The Kelpie's voice was a mere whisper, barely audible over the haunting sounds of the abyss. "This is the grave of the hallowed mariner, a vessel lost to the abyss centuries ago. Its crew now serve as guardians, their souls trapped in eternal torment." As Seraphin and the Kelpie swam cautiously past the eerie shipwreck, they noticed that the spectral sailors paid them little heed, lost in their ceaseless, mournful lamentations. It was a grim reminder of the abyss's relentless grasp on those who dared to venture too deep. Finally, they reached the outskirts of the tranquil haven, a place where the abyss's darkness seemed to relent slightly, allowing the soft glow of the reef to pierce the oppressive gloom. Here, Seraphin would face the elusive sea wisps, guardians of the Pearl of Serenity. The Kelpie turned to Seraphin, its eyes filled with a foreboding sadness. "You must approach the sea wisps with caution, for they are both enchanting and capricious. Their trust must be earned, or you may become another lost soul in the abyss." With a deep breath and his trident at the ready, Seraphin swam forward, his heart heavy with the weight of the abyss's dark mysteries and the looming encounter with the enigmatic guardians of the tranquil haven. Seraphin and the Kelpie ventured deeper into the tranquil haven, where the eerie beauty of the coral reef cast ghostly patterns on the surrounding jagged rock formations. The haunting melodies of the sea wisps grew more resonant as they swam closer to these elusive guardians, who held the key to the Pearl of Serenity. As they approached the sea wisps, their spectral forms danced gracefully through the coral, their luminous presence creating an otherworldly ambience. Seraphin could feel the weight of their ancient knowledge and the trials that lay ahead. One of the sea wisps, its form shimmering with an ethereal glow, addressed Seraphin, "Merman Knight, why have you ventured into our realm, and what do you seek within the tranquil haven?" Seraphin responded earnestly, "I seek the Pearl of Serenity, for it holds the power to protect our underwater kingdom from the impending darkness of the abyssal Leviathan." The sea wisps considered his words, their luminous eyes regarding him with a mixture of curiosity and judgment. They began to encircle him, their haunting melodies weaving a riddle into the very currents of the water. The first trial was a puzzle of reflections, where the coral formations seemed to mimic Seraphin's every movement. He had to decipher the patterns, find the hidden symbols among the mirrored images, and touch them in the correct sequence to progress. As he navigated the challenge, flashes of his mother's wisdom came to him, memories of her teaching him the art of pattern recognition and the importance of staying true to his purpose. The sea wisps watched closely, their songs growing more intricate as Seraphin solved each reflection puzzle. They nodded in acknowledgement of his cleverness, and the luminosity of their forms dimmed slightly. The second trial led Seraphin into a maze of shifting currents and illusions. The sea itself seemed to conspire against him, creating deceptive paths and veils of darkness. He had to trust his instincts, recall the tales of his missing father's legendary navigational skills, and find his way through the labyrinthine abyss. As he faced this challenge, memories of his father's tales of daring adventures and his unwavering resolve echoed in his mind, strengthening his determination to conquer the maze. The sea wisps observed, their luminous eyes revealing hints of approval as Seraphin unraveled the maze's mysteries. The underwater currents began to yield to his will, allowing him to progress. The final trial presented Seraphin with a complex riddle, one that required him to contemplate the very essence of the abyss. It was a riddle of contradictions and enigmas, a test of his intellectual and emotional depth. As he pondered the riddle, the memory of his mother's gentle encouragement to never underestimate the power of contemplation and inner strength guided him. He felt a deep connection to both his parents in that moment, as if they were there with him in spirit. With a profound sense of clarity, Seraphin deciphered the riddle, and the sea wisp's luminous forms brightened as they acknowledged his intellect and willpower. "You have passed the trials, Merman Knight," they sang in unison. "The Pearl of Serenity is yours to claim." With the Pearl of Serenity now in his possession, Seraphin felt not only a deeper connection to the mysteries of the abyss, but also a sense of unity with his family's legacy. He knew that his quest was far from over, but he had taken a significant step toward fulfilling his destiny, to rescue Princess Aurelia and protect his underwater kingdom from the looming abyssal menace. As he and the Kelpie swam back towards the surface, the haunting melodies of the sea wisps echoed in their wake, a reminder of the enigmatic depths they had faced and the challenges of wit and will that lay ahead in the quest to save their underwater world. Chapter 8: The Conch of the Depths. With the Pearl of Serenity in his possession, Seraphin's determination burned brighter than ever as he continued his quest for the third and final legendary artifact, the Conch of the Depths. This ancient seashell, said to hold the very voice of the sea itself, was rumored to be hidden in the abyss's abyss, a place untouched by light and shrouded in enigmatic darkness. The Kelpie, ever his loyal companion, swam alongside him as they descended into the fathomless abyss. Here, the pressure was immense, and the very water seemed to whisper ancient secrets. The darkness was oppressive, and Seraphin's heart raced as he ventured into the abyss's abyss, the very heart of the unknown. As they swam deeper, the eerie glow of bioluminescent creatures cast ghostly shadows on the jagged rocks, creating a surreal and foreboding landscape. Seraphin felt a chill in his bones, knowing that the greatest challenge of his quest lay ahead. In the midst of the abyss's abyss, they came upon an eerie shipwreck, ancient and encrusted with barnacles, much like the one they had encountered earlier. Seraphin couldn't help but think of his father, missing since his childhood, and the countless sailors who had disappeared into the abyss. It was then that the mysterious cloaked figure materialized from the shadows once more. This time, as the figure drew near, it stepped into a shaft of pale light, revealing a face that was both ageless and familiar. "Seraphin," the cloaked figure spoke, his voice like the deep rumble of a distant storm. "I am Poseidon, god of the seas, and I have watched over you from afar." Seraphin, his eyes filled with a mixture of shock and recognition, stammered, You are my father?" Poseidon nodded, his eyes holding a profound sadness. "Yes, my son. I pledged not to interfere with the plots of mortals, but you are not just a mortal, you are a demigod, born of the sea, and it is time you knew the truth." As the weight of his father's revelation settled upon him, Seraphin felt a rush of emotions. He had spent his life longing for the father he never knew, and now, here he was, in the presence of a god. "Why did you leave?" Seraphin asked, his voice trembling with both longing and anger. Poseidon sighed, his gaze focused on the abyss's depths. I left to protect you. Forces beyond mortal comprehension sought to exploit our lineage, and I could not allow them to harm you. But now, you are ready, and the fate of our world hangs in the balance. With that, Poseidon extended his hand, revealing the conch of the depths, an ancient seashell with a spiral pattern that seemed to capture the very essence of the sea. This is the conch of the depths, Poseidon explained. It holds the voice of the sea, a power that will be crucial in your quest to face the abyssal Leviathan. Seraphin, his heart both heavy and hopeful, accepted the conch. The realization that he was a demigod, the son of a god of the seas, gave him a newfound sense of purpose and strength. I will save Princess Aurelia and our underwater kingdom, Seraphin vowed, his gaze unwavering. With these artifacts and your guidance, I will confront the abyssal Leviathan. Poseidon, his face etched with paternal pride, nodded in agreement. You are ready, my son. The fate of the sea now rests in your hands. As they swam back toward the surface, the conch of the depths held tightly in Seraphin's grasp. He couldn't help but feel a profound connection to his father and the vast, mysterious world of the seas. The challenges ahead were daunting, but with the power of a god's blessing, he was determined to face them head-on and fulfill his destiny. As Seraphin and his father, Poseidon, god of the seas, swam through the abyss's abyss, their bond grew stronger with every stroke. The presence of his father filled Seraphin with a sense of purpose and strength he had never known before. With the conch of the depths in his hand, Seraphin felt a connection to the very heart of the sea. Its spiral pattern seemed to pulse with an ancient rhythm, resonating with the ebb and flow of the ocean's depths. As they descended deeper into the abyss, the conch began to emit a soft, melodic hum, as if it were singing the song of the sea. Poseidon watched his son with a mixture of pride and sadness. You have the heart of a true protector, Seraphin, just like your mother. She was a mortal of exceptional courage and wisdom. Seraphin's thoughts turned to his mother, the one who had raised him with love and taught him the ways of the sea. Tell me more about her, he implored, eager to know the woman who had shaped his character. Poseidon's eyes held a distant gaze as he spoke of Seraphin's mother. She was a woman of unwavering devotion to our underwater realm. Her wisdom and kindness were known throughout the kingdom. She was the one who ensured your safety when I had to leave. Tears welled up in Seraphin's eyes as he listened to his father's words. He had grown up with stories of his mother's strength and kindness, and now, he felt a deep connection to her spirit. Their journey through the abyss's abyss was treacherous, with eldritch horrors lurking in the shadows. Yet, with the conch of the depths as their guide, they pressed forward, the melodic hum of the seashell, keeping the darkness at bay. As they ventured deeper into the abyss, they came across a mesmerizing underwater cavern, its walls adorned with luminescent crystals that cast a surreal, multicolored glow. Within the cavern lay the final trial to obtain the conch's power. Poseidon explained, to unlock the full potential of the conch, you must harmonize with the sea's voice. It requires deep understanding and connection with the elements of the ocean. Seraphin nodded, taking a moment to meditate on his mother's teachings and the wisdom imparted by the kelpie and the sea wisps. He closed his eyes and listened to the conch's soft hum, allowing it to guide his thoughts. The trial within the cavern began. Seraphin found himself surrounded by swirling currents and luminous sea creatures, each representing a different aspect of the ocean. He had to maintain a delicate balance, showing respect for the sea's power while asserting his mastery over it. As he navigated the trial, memories of his mother's lessons flooded his mind. He recalled her telling him that the sea was both a powerful force and a source of life, and that understanding its rhythms was the key to its protection. Hours passed, but Seraphin remained steadfast, his heart and mind in perfect harmony with the trial. The conch of the depths resonated with his efforts, emitting a brilliant, radiant light that filled the cavern. Finally, as the last challenge was overcome, the cavern's glow intensified, and the conch's hum became a triumphant symphony of the sea. Poseidon looked on with immense pride. You have succeeded, my son, Poseidon declared, his voice filled with paternal warmth. The conch of the depths is now fully attuned to your spirit. Seraphin held the conch aloft, its light casting a radiant aura around him. With this powerful artifact and his father's blessing, he was prepared to face the abyssal Leviathan and rescue Princess Aurelia. As they swam back toward the surface, the bond between Seraphin and Poseidon, father and son, grew stronger with every stroke. The weight of their responsibility was immense, but together, they were determined to confront the looming abyssal menace and protect their underwater kingdom from the impending darkness. Chapter 9: The Abyssal Sorceress. Seraphin and his father, Poseidon, god of the seas, ascended from the abyss's depths, the conch of the depths glowing with a radiant aura in Seraphin's grasp. Their reunion had given them both renewed determination and strength as they continued their quest to confront the abyssal Leviathan and rescue Princess Aurelia. As they approached the abyssal Leviathan's lair, a foreboding darkness descended, and the water grew thick with tension. The shadowy figures of dark forces began to gather before the Leviathan, their malevolent presence like a storm brewing in the depths. The abyssal Leviathan itself was a monstrous creature, gorgon-like in appearance, with serpentine tendrils that writhed and hissed in the black waters. Its eyes gleamed with an otherworldly malevolence, and it was surrounded by a swirling vortex of dark energy. Before the entrance to the Leviathan's lair, a guardian stood in their path. It was Sirenastra, the sea sorceress, her form eerily reminiscent of the siren who had guided Seraphin earlier in his quest. However, something was terribly amiss. Her eyes were vacant, and her movements were controlled by an unseen force. Poseidon's voice was filled with sorrow as he recognized her. That is Sirenastra, but her soul has been separated from her body. She has become a thrall, possessed by some dark entity under the Leviathan's control. Seraphin's heart ached at the sight of the once beautiful sorceress now reduced to this tortured state. He knew he had to free her and confront the dark forces that sought to protect the Leviathan. Approaching Sirenastra, Seraphin spoke softly, "I will set you free." The possessed sorceress let out an eerie, mournful wail, and dark energy surged around her, creating a barrier that prevented Seraphin from reaching her. Poseidon extended his divine power, creating a protective shield around Seraphin. "You must use the conch of the depths. Its connection to the sea's voice may be the key to breaking the dark influence." Seraphin nodded and held the conch high. Its radiant light pierced the abyss, and a haunting melody resonated through the water, like a siren's song. The conch's power clashed with the dark energy surrounding Sirenastra, creating a fierce struggle for control. As the dueling energies collided, Sirenastra's form contorted and writhed, her eyes filled with agony. The dark entity that held her thrall screeched and wriggled as if in pain. In a final, desperate surge of power, Seraphin channeled the conch's might, and with a burst of brilliant light, the dark forces were banished. Sirenastra's form returned to its original beauty, and her eyes filled with recognition and gratitude. She spoke, her voice now her own, "Thank you for freeing me from the darkness." The abyssal Leviathan is a creature of unfathomable power and malevolence. It seeks to consume the very essence of the sea and bring eternal darkness to our world. Poseidon added, "The Leviathan's thrall sought to protect it, but now, with Sirenastra's knowledge and your newfound strength, we are ready to confront the Leviathan and save Princess Aurelia." With Sirenastra by their side, her powers now aligned with the conch of the depths, Seraphin and Poseidon moved forward, their hearts filled with determination. The final battle against the abyssal Leviathan loomed, and their quest to rescue the princess and protect their underwater kingdom was reaching its climax. Seraphin understood that his duty was to save all in the sea, regardless of how they had been ensnared by evil forces. Chapter 10: The Battle of Light, Will, and Love. With Sirenastra, the abyssal sorceress, by their side and the conch of the depths radiating its power, Seraphin, Poseidon, and the sorceress approached the lair of the abyssal Leviathan. The malevolent creature loomed before them, its form writhing with dark energy, its eyes fixed on them with unwavering malevolence. The Leviathan let out a deafening roar, a cacophony of darkness that sent shockwaves through the abyss. Its serpentine tendrils surged forward, ready to strike. The battle that ensued was an epic clash of wills and powers, a struggle that seemed to stretch across the very fabric of their underwater world. Poseidon's trident unleashed torrents of radiant light, clashing with the Leviathan's dark tendrils, each strike a testament to the unyielding determination of the sea god. Cyrenastra's incantations weaved protective barriers and harmonious melodies that countered the Leviathan's malevolent presence, creating a fragile balance between light and darkness. She danced through the currents, her magic shielding them from the relentless assault. Seraphin, holding the Pearl of Serenity, summoned his inner strength and courage, a love burning brightly within his heart for Princess Aurelia. His sword cut through the abyssal darkness, each strike a declaration of his love's power. The Leviathan, confident in its malevolence, lashed out with eerie tendrils that twisted and writhed, threatening to overwhelm them. The battle raged on, a test of their resolve and unity. As the Leviathan's tendrils closed in, Seraphin felt an indescribable connection with Princess Aurelia, a love that transcended the boundaries of their worlds. With a surge of determination, he swam fearlessly into the heart of the battle, deflecting the Leviathan's darkness with newfound strength. With a burst of light, Seraphin underwent a transformation, his form growing in size and power until he became a colossal sea dragon. His scales shimmered with iridescent colors, and his eyes blazed with a love meant to bridge the sea and the skies. The Leviathan, unyielding and overconfident, continued to assail them with darkness, but the trio's unity, love, and newfound power were unbreakable. As the battle reached its climax, the Leviathan's malevolent presence seemed to waver. It let out one final roar, a desperate cry of defiance, before dissolving into a whirlpool of darkness. The abyss regained its calm, and the malevolent presence of the abyssal Leviathan was no more. Seraphin, now back in his merman form, felt the power of the items fading. He turned to his father, Poseidon, and Cyrenastra, who wore expressions of relief and gratitude. "We have triumphed," Poseidon declared, his eyes filled with pride. Cyrenastra added, "You, Seraphin, with your unorthodox godly heritage, have shown us the true power of love and unity." With a shared understanding, they swam back to their underwater kingdom. But there was still one important task left to complete: rescuing Princess Aurelia. As they reached the heart of the abyssal Leviathan's lair, they found a massive, ornate cage made of dark coral, its bars imprisoning the dragon princess. She was unconscious, but unharmed, her scales gleaming even in the dim light of the abyss. Seraphin, Poseidon, and Cyrenastra worked together to break the cage open, their combined strength proving more than enough to shatter the dark coral. With gentle care, they cradled Princess Aurelia and swam her to safety. As they returned to their kingdom, the news of their victory and the rescue of the dragon princess spread like wildfire. The underwater realm erupted in celebration, the sea creatures singing songs of joy and gratitude for their brave knight, the sorceress, and the godly presence of Poseidon. Princess Aurelia, now awake and safe, looked into Seraphin's eyes with deep appreciation. "You have saved not only me but our entire world," she said with a grateful smile. Seraphin nodded, his heart filled with contentment. "Together, we have proven that the power of love and unity can conquer even the greatest of darkness." Their underwater kingdom thrived once more, bathed in the radiant light of hope, and Seraphin knew that his destiny as a merman knight was to protect not only the sea but also the hearts of those who dwelled within it. And as they celebrated their victory, the bond between Seraphin and Princess Aurelia, a love meant to unite the sea and the skies, grew stronger with each passing moment, promising a future where their worlds would coexist in harmony. Chapter 11: The Union of Sea and Sky. After the triumphant battle against the abyssal Leviathan, Seraphin and Princess Aurelia's love had grown stronger, and their desire to unite the sea and the sky was unshakable. They knew that their love could bring harmony to their worlds, and they decided to hold a grand wedding to symbolize this unity. As preparations began for the momentous occasion, the entire underwater kingdom buzzed with excitement. Coral reefs were adorned with vibrant blooms, schools of fish swam in intricate formations, and the melodies of the sirens filled the sea, creating an enchanting atmosphere. The day of the wedding arrived, and the underwater realm was bathed in a soft, ethereal light. Seraphin stood at the heart of the coral palace, dressed in regal attire, befitting a merman knight. Princess Aurelia, radiant in her bridal gown, awaited him with a smile that could rival the sun. As they exchanged vows and promises of love, a chorus of marine creatures sang a harmonious melody that echoed throughout the depths. The sea and the sky seemed to hold their breath, witnessing this union that had been foretold by destiny. But as Seraphin and Princess Aurelia sealed their love with a kiss, a profound transformation began to take place. The power of their love, combined with the mystical items they had wielded, infused their very beings. Seraphin, his heart brimming with love for the dragon princess, underwent a magnificent transformation. He began to glow with an inner light, and his form grew once more, this time into a colossal sea dragon. His scales shimmered with a brilliant fusion of sea and sky colors, and his wings unfurled with grace. Princess Aurelia, too, underwent a transformation. Her dragon form was a magnificent spectacle, her scales reflecting the depths of the ocean and the vastness of the sky. Together, they soared through the water and the air, a symbol of the unity they had forged. Their love had transcended the boundaries that had separated their worlds for so long, and now they embodied that unity in a way no one had ever imagined. The sea and the sky had truly become one. The underwater kingdom rejoiced, and even the creatures of the skies above joined in the celebration, their wings casting colorful shadows on the sea below. With their union as a sea and sky dragon, Seraphin and Princess Aurelia vowed to protect both realms and ensure that the love between them would bring everlasting harmony. They set off on a journey that would bridge their two worlds, bringing peace and understanding to all who dwelled beneath the waves and above the clouds. The knight and the dragon princess, now more powerful and united than ever, embarked on a new adventure, their love serving as a beacon of hope for a future where the sea and the sky would forever be intertwined.